Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you gave up everything, your youth, your dreams, even your peace, only to realize one day you were never enough? What would you have done if the person you loved most betrayed you for power? Share your thoughts. I'll be reading every comment. If you love emotional, real history stories, subscribe for more cinematic tales of love, power, and destiny. That's the story of Catherine of Aragon, the first wife of King Henry VIII, the woman who loved with all her heart and was broken by the man she trusted the most. She wasn't just a queen. She was a daughter of Spain, a princess born to power, proud, educated, graceful. When she came to England, she carried with her the warmth of the Spanish sun and the hope of a new life. But destiny had other plans. At 16, she married Prince Arthur, Henry's elder brother. Yet only months later, Arthur died, and Catherine was left a widow in a foreign land, alone, heartbroken, waiting for a future that refused to come. Years passed, and then Henry, the young, charming, golden-haired prince who promised her everything she had lost. He told her he loved her. He told her God had brought them together. He married her, and for a while it seemed like a fairy tale. Catherine could not give him what he wanted most: a son, a male heir. One after another, her pregnancies ended in heartbreak, stillborn babies, tiny coffins, silent prayers. Can you imagine the pain of holding a lifeless child and still being expected to smile like a queen? She gave him a daughter, Mary. But to Henry, that wasn't enough. The man who once swore he'd die for her began to drift away. And then came another woman, Anne Boleyn, beautiful, bold, untouchable. Anne was everything Catherine was not: young, mysterious, and most of all, fertile. Henry's desire for her burned like fire. He told himself it was love, but maybe it was just power, the desire to control destiny itself. And so began the divorce that changed the world. Henry asked the Pope to dissolve his marriage, but Catherine, proud, loyal, heartbroken, refused to step aside. She said, "I am the king's true wife. I was his lawful wife from the beginning." She stood before a court of men, in front of her husband, her betrayer, and said, "My lord, I have been to you a true and humble wife." Can you feel the pain in those words? She wasn't fighting for the crown. She was fighting for her love, her dignity, her truth. But love doesn't always win. Henry broke with the church, defied the Pope, and declared himself head of a new one, the Church of England, all to rid himself of the woman who had once been his heart. The world changed forever. Kings had defied popes before, but never for love, never for a woman. And Catherine was cast aside, banished to lonely castles. Separated from her daughter, her health faded, her hope faded. Yet even in her final letter to Henry, she wrote, "My eyes desire you above all things." Tell me, what kind of love makes you hold on even when it destroys you? What kind of heart forgives the man who broke it? Catherine of Aragon died in 1536, alone, forgotten. while Henry married the woman he destroyed a kingdom for. But history remembers Catherine not as the queen who was divorced, but as the woman who refused to surrender her truth. Her love was not weak. It was pure, painful, and eternal. And maybe that's what real love is. Not the kind that ends with happily ever after, but the kind that endures through betrayal, silence, and loss. Because Catherine's love changed the world, and her heartbreak still echoes through time. Sometimes the crown is heavy, but the heart that carries it is heavier still.